Hanzo would be a cool specialist. Every time I if you just look at Overwatch's heroics, just thinking of how they would be implemented in HOTS is fun. Like Hanzo's ult, McCree's ult. There's so many cool heroics that would go well. I would like to see a Zenyatta ult. That'd be cool. Full draft has begun, guys. Infernal Shrines is our map. Game number one of this best of three series. Zul and Illidan going to be the bans here, and BWS Star going to first pick the Sylvanas here. Now, keep in mind this is on the new patch, so the Punishers are tankier, and you add that with a Sylvanas, you can do some serious damage with the first Punisher phase. OMG going to pick up Falstad and Sonya. A lot of damage, a lot of map presence. Good pickups so far. Dahaka Rhaegar, next two picks for Bayway Star. So the Dahaka going to match the global presence that the Falstad brings to the table. ETC Thrall picked up or banned out from the teams, and then Avala Murden. So a lot of damage and good poke for the Shrines here from OMG. They're going to be able to control the points really, really well and maintain soak while doing so. Zeratul and Zagara. So a lot of control coming out from Bayway Star. And they insta-locked those two. They didn't even think about it. Just snap pick Zeratul Zagara. Tassar the last pick. So solo support Tassar are not something we see too often in Korea. And really in the world, Europe is the only region that consistently runs solo support Tassadar. Sometimes Cloud9 does it, and we see it here and there from other teams as well. But when it comes to consistently doing it, you almost never see China or Korea running.
Alright, I turn my mic on. I don't know how loud it is. Let me know. Zoia is just repeatedly crashing over and over and over and over and over. Repeatedly. So, no idea how that's gonna play out. I've also, like, very rarely casted heroes, like maybe 4 or 5 times, so I'm incredibly amateur. So I won't try to be professional or whatnot. I won't try and say that I know what is going on that much. I'm like pleb tier rank 1. People only criticize you after you try to cast. That's pretty much it. I'm very loud to compare the game. All right. I turn my mic down a bit. Maybe that'll help. I mean, the general consensus is that OMG is going to completely destroy BWS Star, right? It's loud. Still loud. I turn my mic down again. Maybe that'll help. Turn the game volume up. I could turn it. It's okay. Alright, I'm just going to leave it for a bit and let you guys decide what's going on. Honest casting right there, yeah. So the only weird talent builds from OMG is like the Chinese Q builds. A lot of people have been going multi-shot with auto attacks now. But I know China really like that based on what I've seen watching all of the Gold League stuff. The Dahaka build is super interesting though. It's got the regen on 1, it's got the minions get extra essence on 4. 7 I believe is the regen globes give extra essence. Oh god, that's my alarm. But yeah, BWS is also the team that we know like literally nothing about. We don't know how good these players are, so seem to be doing pretty well so far. I'm sure that OMG can force their way in here. Looking like they're leaving Falset in the top lane. He's going to fly in towards the later part. Mom calls, nah. It's my alarm to get me to wake up normally. Looks like Zoia is still having troubles. I'm like juggling, like trying to run the stream, cast the stream, see what Zoya's doing. I don't know if I'm going to cast the 3rd set, but Zoia is definitely out of it for this game. What do we got? Standard Heroics, Strafe picked up for Vala. Seems like some people have been going back to Strafe here and there, like Reign of Vengeance is good, but you don't have to go at every game, just pick it up if you need the stun to interrupt something, and they don't really have anything on the side of BWS, no Mosh Pit or anything like that. I think that's adaptation for Dahaka. It's the one I don't recognize, so I guess it must be adaptation. Otherwise, Heroic looking standard here. John Cena going pretty ham as usual. He is a little bit buffed now. The early game punish just got buffed. There's the isolation or adaptation pop by Dahaka, so he's getting that heal up. And he's already full health without even Ancestral healing going off, saving the Ancestral for the Zeratul there, but Rhaegar is completely out of position. There goes Dahaka as well. Man, that was a train wreck, wasn't it? Poor Zoia. I feel so bad for him. Well, I will keep you guys posted on the status of our casters. I think one of them is on a plane, and the other one is reformatting their computer, so we will see. So teams are going back to soaking. OMG are probably going to play a little bit more passive till they get 13. Then they can start making some aggressive plays again pretty handily with that talent tier advantage they'll be picking up. We Welsh? Rot, please, I'm not Welsh. If you were Welsh, you wouldn't understand me. So Muradin's probably going to be picking up that Thunderstrike at 13 when that rolls around. Falstad's probably going to be looking for Static Shield. There's Static Shield. There's Thunderstrike. Prescience, Mystical Spear. Vala might be considering Spell Shield against this Zeratul. Nope, it's going to be the Frost Shot. Okay. Can you get a shot? There's your shot. We've turned off Gilly Gold for this, so... yeah, no chat spam. I'm just happy the casters will disappear when there's not many people around, so... at least there's still Europe you guys can watch. If you want something highly professional, Kappa. Looks like OMG might be thinking about pressuring that bottom fort, just poking around, seeing what they can get done, but they're going to use that first camp as an opportunity to steal the camp away from Bayway Star. Not much Bayway Star can really do, but it is a 4v5, even though they are down a talent tier. They're trying to make this happen, but Sonya's just going completely ham. Should he get out alive? No, not quite. The VP there. Going to keep Sonya from being healed up, but a nice counter more there as well, I don't know. Bayway Star are kind of making this happen, even though they're down a talent tier. Yeah, that's 2 kills now. I'm surprised that went as well as it did for Bayway Star. I really think Falstad needed to fly down from top earlier, but he really wanted to deal with that Bruiser camp that's pushing up there, so... Bayway Star may be back into this a little bit. That's pretty cool. As for the talents, I believe on Dahaka that's the 60% move speed coming out of a bush after using his Brush Stalker. He's not really fearing the stuns of OMG that much, so no need for Whirling Dervish, and there's another move speed talent, but it's like 20% in a bush. It's not really that great. Looks like that's the Earth Shield for Rhaegar, Windrunner for Sylvanas, Mutalisk, and Wormhole. Sylvanas 13 talents I'm not so sure about. Haven't played her that much this new patch, but Windrunner will refill her Qs and give her a second... what is it? E? I can't remember the name of it. Darkus gonna get bursted down just before his adaptation actually pops. So that's a real pain for them, but it looks like OMG are gonna lose Falstad for that, so 1-for-1 so far. Bayway Star have the opportunity to tap their wells and they're moving in aggressively again. I think OMG should probably back out and try and do the same here. They're looking pretty weak. Nope, Sonya's just gonna go more ham. More ham. She does just barely escape with her life. Clutch shield from Tassadar there. Also a clutch avatar there from Muradin. Silence didn't seem to do much. But now OMG are looking really weak. Looks like Vala's just straight backing. Very greedy place to back. They might just have to give the rest of this up to Bayway Star. Bayway Star are actually making a game out of this. That's kind of funny. Based on how destroyed they were yesterday, that wasn't something I was expecting at all. And Zoia either, by the sounds of what he was saying. He was expecting them just to get completely destroyed. Super fast 2-0s all of today, but they're making it happen. OMG still with a little bit of an XP lead, but that's probably going to be equalized by the death of this fort. Sylvanas pushing with the Punisher here for Bayway Star really increases the value of that Punisher. Even though it's just a mortar one, it's going to get a lot more damage done than it should have done. Zeratul's looking for that blink in for the Void Prison, but I don't think he's going to get it, so they're just going to start backing out now. Falstad might have an aggressive Gust here. It's a pretty large Void Prison. The Morg gets absolutely nothing. Adaptation is popped by Dahaka. He's going to be back at full health very shortly, but meanwhile his team's backline are getting kind of destroyed. So far it's what, a 2 for nearly 2? Rhaegar gets away with literally 1 health. He's lucky he picks Feral Heart there for that regen. Sylvanas is going to go down. Rhaegar's going to go down if he's not careful. 2 for 2 so far. Yep, that's a pretty decent force wall. There's a Panic Brush Stalker. Maybe he would have gotten away if the team's focus fire wasn't that good, but no, OMG are on point with that focus fire. 2 for 3, but Bayway Star did get the objective and the fort and some inner towers, so overall, fairly even game. It's like 16 talents have been hit now as well. Vala's Blood for Blood is mainly the only unusual one, everything else looking pretty standard. Falsta's got the stun on his Q, Stone Form, Dimensional Warp, Stone Skin. Blood for Blood, I suppose, for the Dahaka. Speaking of which, he's gone for the drag range, Elongated Tongue. There's the Earth Grasp Totem, the extra slow on the Rhaegar Totem. Cold Embrace for Sylvanas, which did get nerfed. But it still provides vulnerability to that first target hit. Second Mutalisk and the Cleave. So again, for people just tuning in, Gillyweed is on a plane somewhere, or maybe she's landed by now, so she wasn't here. Zoia was casting until he blue screened like 5 times in a row and said I should just do a YOLO solo cast, so I guess that's what I'm doing. First time for everything, right? TL versus NYI is bound to be a slightly better match than this. Probably. I mean, Bayway Star are making it happen though, so I was thinking the same thing, that Europe is probably going to have a closer match than this particular one, but so far it's actually looking pretty close. Sonya's getting caught out, but the Mystical Spear is going to save her there. Falstad's still back at the top keep defending the Puppy Summoner up there, so he's going to be flying in only just now. It's giving Bayway Star the opportunity to get up to maybe close to 30 skeletal defenders here. Stun going out to Sylvanas, but there's no real follow-up. There is a follow-up to that drag, though. Good drag from Dahaka, nearly getting that Muradin. This is going to be a best of 3. At guy in the chat. I think these are mostly all best of 3s, except some of the final games. Muradin jumping in there really aggressively, getting the Ancestral onto the Sylvanas, which is not really a target that he wants to be put that onto, but Zeratul does wormhole in and out for the final kill on that Sonya, and it looks like Dahaka's going to pick up the last few skeletons here. Just one more needed. He'll be able to pick that up, no problem. And once again, they have another Punisher pushing yet again with Sylvanas. Almost guarantees this fort, unless Falstad wants to Mighty Gust away. Good drag there on Muradin, but oh, he will get killed. Tassadar's shield must have just barely been on cooldown there. I noticed it did go onto Vala towards the end of that fight. And this Punisher is arcane with 97% health. There's no timer on a Punisher. It just goes, it disappears when it dies. So this is going to be here for a long time. This might even just get keep, to be honest. It's looking like it's just going to go for keep. Who is casting lol? So I'm Stark in the chat, the mod you guys normally see. Gilly is on a plane. Zoia is blue screening repeatedly. It's a new Chinese caster that speaks English. Yeah, right. I wish. So I am entirely amateur. The alternative right now is you guys watching no casts. So Zoia said, yeah, just go for it solo, see what happens. I'm gonna. He's repeatedly blue screening. I'm getting updates every now and again. So yeah, Bayway are actually gonna take it. They had a pretty nice comeback towards the middle part of that game, where they took that risky, what is it, like down a talent tier on that far right bruiser camp. I'll see how alive Zoia is. So far, I think Bayway Star even taking a map is considered an upset. Considering they were, like, disqualified for a few maps because they had roster issues, and then they were undisqualified because they fixed their roster issues. No one who's English really has a complete idea of what happened there. MVP for the Zeratul, apparently. He got a few good kills. I would agree, Jugger Lady. Thoughts on the lady Chinese caster? I mean, it's Zoia apparently, so it says enough. My Skype is beeping. Sorry to all of you guys who just checked Skype. I just unbusied myself. So Zoia is just permanently blue screening. Alright. Well, I guess I should update the caster command. Because none of the official casters are actually here. That's fun. So I was going to finish this series for you guys, if you guys want. Caster fell asleep. Okay, so Zoia is permanently blue screening over and over and over and over and needs to reformat his hard drive literally right now. And JC is on a plane, probably asleep. Yeah, I need to update that command, don't I? Me? I'm the mod you see in chat, Stark. I was running the stream for Zoia. Because he was having issues, and apparently those issues have gotten a lot worse. There we go. I also think I'm now the only mod here as well. So this is all fantastic. Sweet. So anytime this year they're going to get to the second draft, hopefully Bayway Star just decide to pretend they're MVP Black and win the game in 8 minutes, which is basically what MVP Black did yesterday. It was kind of funny. That'll be awfully convenient as a start to my casting career. That's right, you guys. I was planning on being free to mod for the whole stream anyway, so I'm here regardless of whether casters are not going to be, which is entirely not either of their faults, so I'm here regardless. I can chat about the games with you guys. I won't say I'm going to cast them, because I think that would big me up a bit too much. I won't say what I'm doing is casting. But it's certainly something. It's better than nothing, maybe. And if you want nothing, then I suppose you can go watch the Europe regionals, which are on right now. Are those cubes the prizes and the one headset? I think they're like sponsors. They showed up like maybe last week. They weren't here at the start of this season. I would watch ESL at the same time, but I don't think I have the processing power on this computer to do that. I had it up on my phone for a while, but my phone's internet wasn't doing very well. I've been taking so long between these drafts today. Oh, I think me moaning about it has fixed it. Perfect. Nice. Cursed Hollow, map 2. Why is there a Hearthstone painting behind them? So Gold League, or whatever organization it is, they also cast Hearthstone, StarCraft, Heroes, obviously. They might do something else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. They might even do Warcraft 3 still, to be honest. Scores today... It was a 2-0 for the first series, which was, what was it? YL got dumpstered on by Easter. MVP Black haven't played yet. They were rescheduled to be the third series of today. And this is 1-0. Surprisingly to Bayway Star, people were expecting it to be a 2-0 for OMG, who need to get their act together. I think they're still argued to be the favourites. But that's mostly because people have no idea who Bayway Star is and they got completely destroyed yesterday. Oh sweet, we got a draft. At last. Thanks for that, Tickle Me Osmo. Perfect. Got a Sonya ban first coming out of OMG. I think they had picked her previously, so I guess they're not planning on running her and they don't want to play against her. MVP Black will be playing later today, yeah. Elden ban coming out from Bayway Star, not wanting to deal with that at all. OMG get the first pick. Honestly, I haven't had the chance to pay much attention to these drafts because I've been too busy running the stream and running the chat to be watching the games that much, so I won't have any wild predictions, but maybe get some towards the end as the drafts get filled out. Thrall first pick for OMG, he's going to be a reliable solo laner, good bruiser. Will Zoia be back at any point? Currently, he is permanently blue screening and reformatting. That is the last I've heard as of 6 minutes ago. So, yeah. Get the Sylvanas and the Falstad coming up for Bayway Star. Sylvanas, pretty good damage option now with the recent changes, with the Lost Soul at 4 being the main option, along with the buffs to her autos and Qs. People still not really going Mind Control, it's too easily cleansed out, but Falstad going to be a reliable global option. Gust is still going to be useful as well, and we have the Muradin and Rhaegar completing a reasonable set of heroes for OMG, giving them a lot of options after the second bans, which are going to be Zagara and Uther. OMG wanting to force Bayway Star into maybe a Karazim or a Tas Tyrande option, which they could still reasonably run like Tas Tyrande etc. Is this the Tracer patch? Yes, it is the Tracer patch, and she is banned for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we've got Zool, which is another really strong solo laner. Going to be going up against the Thrall probably, but that does leave Sylvanas open to do her own thing. And Dahak has been a pretty reliable tank coming up recently as well. Actually chosen over the ETC here. They could even go Brightwing for the third global. Li Ming and Vala picked up as the last range DPS options for OMG, and it is going to be a Brightwing, so it's triple global. That's kind of hilarious, actually. So Bayway Star can delay the tributes out for a long period of time, slowly rotating up those globals as they need to have more presence at the tributes, but maybe having some kind of pseudo Lost Vikings or Abathur style soak until the later parts of the tribute fights. Ideal scenario. In reality, it's probably going to be OMG just like sitting in a bush and getting a pick towards the tribute with Muradin and Thrall and Li Ming. Regarding me casting this, I'll cast it as long as you guys want me to cast it. So, yeah, see you later. Watching the Chinese stream, yeah. I wonder how that's like. I mean, I suppose we watched it most of last year. The actual Chinese stream. It's not quite the same as the watching a Korean stream. But those casters are pretty hype. Oh my god, China. The audio mixing on their clean feed is horrendous. Oh, and they forgot their in-game audio again. Literally one job, China. There we go. Thank you. I'm really interested in how these Chinese people make some of their names, like ZZZZZZZZZQT. Like, did he fall asleep and then, like, spell QT backwards because he's actually TQ and not QT? I don't know. Some of the names are really weird. So, again, we got the Hungering Arrow build from Vala just like last time. Li Ming's going with Astral Presence, giving her that extra mana as she's below 25%, I believe it is now, so that really helps for the long tribute fights. Thrall with the Chain Lightning at 1, giving him that solo lane pressure, otherwise it'll be block for him to help more in team fights, depending on... mostly depends on the Thrall player. Standard stuff for Rhaegar and Muradin. Game sounds a bit loud, huh? The Dahaka talent, what's that green one? That's the same one he picked last time. That's the health regen questing. As he picks up 50 stacks of essence, he gets 5 extra health regen per second, up to 50 health regen per second. Looks like Zul is going to get picked out, but the only follow-up there was Li Ming, and Zul had a Brightwing to shield him, get him out of there, so... with a bit more damage from OMG, that type of gank is definitely lethal though. So Bayway Star will need to respect that. Otherwise, standard looking talents out of Bayway Star. We got the Shade on Zul. That's twice now that you've gone up there, Zul, and twice now that you've nearly died. Do you think he's going to learn for the 3rd time? I really hope so. Looks like Thrall's going to die in top lane actually. Really nice abuse, well, use of the global. Maybe abuse from OMG's side, but it's definitely use. I like the tri-lane setup they have down here with Sylvanas and the healer as well. Sometimes you see it with Malfurion, but this is really good to put on lane pressure. They're going to get 1 tower before the first tribute spawns, maybe even 2 towers, but again, Muradin and Li Ming. Same bush. This time Zul didn't face check it though, so that's progress for Bayway Star. Brightwing's going to face check it instead though. And Zul is going to face check it too. Alright, well, they didn't get punished this time. I'm actually going to rotate up and do that siege camp just before the tributes are spawning, which is going to get some reasonable damage down and is going to threaten that fort. But it looks like Muradin has found this, and he's going to step on the point, and he's going to feel comfortable stepping on that point. Because Falstad has spent most of his cooldowns, but then they're also not respecting the global. So now all five members of Bayway Star suddenly show up on what was a 2v2, which is now a 5v2. And Muradin, or Li Ming rather, gets completely evaporated, and Muradin has to jump out. So Thrall's actually just going to stay top. Rhaegar's not even going to bother coming down either. And this tribute is a free cap for Bayway Star, and they're going to really push hard with these giants. Vala on her own cannot defend that. They need to rotate Li Ming down, and probably even Muradin and have Rhaegar go mid. Looks like Rhaegar's backing though. Yeah, this push is pretty absurd, but it looks like Muradin is going to come in from the back and try and force them out. Dahaka showing up out of the bush though. This global presence is amazing. They are giving up a little bit of soak on this though. Top lane, yeah, Falstead's got that, but there's no one mid. Someone does need to head mid pretty fast. Looks like Sylvanas is going to rotate up if she can, away from that Muradin. Grab that mid soak. Got fairly standard talents coming at level 4. Li Ming has Charge Blast, which means her basic attacks that hit a target who has been Magic Missile do a little bit extra damage. Some people think it's kind of weak, but she picked it up, so must have some faith in it. And also Dahaka again with the same build he did last time. Heavy into the essence, also getting extra essence from minions, and then regen globes. Brightwing interestingly picking up the cleanse and not the phase shield. That's really cool. Normally people just instantly assume that Brightwings have to pick up the phase shield because that's her only burst heal, but she's decided that cleanse is enough. Not sure why Bayway Star is saying here. He instantly got blown up. Oh, they want the Li Ming kill. Greedy for it. Okay. Well, what should have been a 1 for nothing is now a 3 for nothing. And OMG are going to pick up their first tribute of the game. Not sure why Brightwing was so aggressive there, but hopefully next time they will be a little more reserved. It's all well and good picking up cleanse for the stunlock from Muradin and Thrall, and maybe eventually Vala with Rain of Vengeance, but if you get stunlocked yourself, you can't self-cleanse anymore. It's like the mirrored night camps are going to be picked up by both sides. They're going to break even in the mid, probably. Bosses are the only other camp open. Don't think anyone's about to go and try and pick one of those up, though. Oh no, Brightwing, not again. All the stun hits, but it's really hard for a Li Ming to follow up any kind of gank that her tank presents if there's a lot of minions in the way. She has a huge amount of burst damage, but it's very easily wasted on minions or summons or whatnot. So she would have struggled there. This global presence from Bayway Star is actually super cool. Dahaka just happily burrowing into the back, but I think he was a little bit too aggressive there, with the only burst heal on this team being Dahaka's own trait right now. And that's not even a burst heal. So, level 10 is picked up now for OMG, as Bayway Star did arguably overcommit on that tribute. Picking up the Sunring Avatar, Disintegrate, Strafe, and Ancestral Healing, and they want to pause. Great. So they pick up this boss. So that's at least going to give Bayway Star some valuable time to untilt themselves, except for the one person who got DC'd probably. Oh, this is great. We'll love it. I think Brightwing has almost got to go Blink Heal. There's no way to try out the new Emerald Winds. without phase shields, you need something bursty. She's already been focused down once, so Blink Heal will allow her to get away. What else do they have? Dahaka. The Chinese Dahakas today have been running adaptations, so maybe that's the argument for not getting phase shield. Well, I'm as filled in as you guys are regarding what the break is for. Well, I think from just before they paused, someone disconnected, so they're waiting for him to reconnect to the game. Looks like there's that guy on the end there. He's doing something with his computer, and there's a referee over the top of him, stalking his Facebook account, presumably. OMG are just laughing to themselves. Well, any time now. Yeah, I don't buy into the region stuff. Oh, we finally got back into the game. We made it, guys. So OMG pick up the boss. I wonder if they're going to push with it or leave it. They might rotate up and threaten the other boss. But Bayway Star do pick up 10, and that is Adaptation, Poison Nova, Blink Heal, Wailing Arrow, and Mighty Gust. Looks like they're just going to leave the boss to do its own thing, just kind of picking it up to take it. I mean, it's taken 2 towers. I really wish they would have pushed with it or something. They're not really using it for much. Maybe if they should have delayed that cap, maybe, in my opinion. Oh well. Looks like Vala needs to get into the fight from top. Okay, here we go. Now everyone's here. They've lost the vision now from Brightwing's Peekaboo. There wasn't any phase shield either. Looking like they want to deal with these giants first before actually taking the fight, just poking with like Lost Soul from Sylvanas and whatnot, but a really sick flank set up here by Muradin, Vala, and Thrall. They're waiting. Using the Li Ming as bait almost. Dahaka's actually burrowed in behind, but that wasn't fast enough. OMG have been cursed. They've got the first kill of this fight already. Looks like they're going to take a second kill on Zul. There's the second kill on Zul. And there's the third kill on Brightwing. Dahaka was full health for most of that because of his adaptation, but I mean, he used all of his essence and his adaptation, so that's the fourth kill going to OMG. Oh my goodness. That was a train wreck. So they might have the option to start the second boss, but I think OMG are probably just going to go around and pick up all three forts. Looks like Rhaegar's going bottom to grab that soak. Something that you do want to make sure you do it if you can during a curse is try and pick up that soak of XP from all of the 1 health minions that will otherwise die very fast. You can lose a lot of that XP during a curse even if you are the one with the curse. So OMG are doing that pretty well here. As well as they can, at least. They have a handy 2-level lead, the talent lead now as well. Giant killer coming out of Vala. Interesting to see. Maybe that's an adaptive pick based on the lack of phase shield. They know that Dahaka only has himself to keep himself alive. Otherwise, relatively standard looking picks. 13 now picked up by BWS Star 2. We got the Windrunner. I believe that's the Shield Dust from Brightwing. I'm not sure which talent art is which. They're two different arrangements of colours. We have the Scythe Slow on Zul. I believe that's the Hammerang Slow on Falstad as well. And the 60% move speed after using Brush Stalker for Dahaka. It's like Muradin might get caught out there. Not sure why they're showing that. Okay, they're going to go for the Thrall anyway, but he should be able to get out of that. Just. Yeah, it looked like the Muradin was more vulnerable, but both of them managed to get out alive, so a couple of failed ganks there from BWS Star, and they needed at least one of those ganks, because OMG are going to pick up 16 very shortly from Vala soaking bottom. It was actually a 4v5 that BWS Star failed to gank there. Trying it again with the drag, but Lucian on Dahaka did miss his drag. And Muradin is going to get rooted, but he's not even going to use his Dwarf Toss to cure that root. He's just going to jump out. Or actually, he's just going to let it happen. Save it. Now OMG gets 16 and a free tribute. Also probably contention over this boss. BWS Star just have to soak. Again, the blood for blood coming out for Vala. Maybe it's just this Vala's style of play. Also got the diamond skin coming out of Li Ming, so very much so the full teleport build. Apart from Charge Blast, which is a little peculiar. So Zul is... I don't know where you're going, friend, but that is the wrong base. Getting caught out there. Otherwise standard talents from OMG. Looks like some of these BWS Star players may get caught out. Muradin's leaping and he's looking for it. He gets the stun, but that also gets cleansed. Probably wouldn't have cleansed there if they knew that OMG didn't have follow-up to the stun, but either way, the cleanse from Rhaegar is now down for 60 seconds. And this is another tribute that's probably just going to go straight to OMG here. BWS Star needs God tier pick, because Zul has only just respawned. Yeah, they're just going to go clean top wave. maybe consider getting that boss. I think Vala's actually starting their own boss, yeah. OMG may have the time to kill this boss and rotate up, but I really like that Bayway Star are just taking the initiative and taking their own boss right away. It's a bit of a risk. Maybe OMG are rotating up, but if they didn't take that boss then, OMG were going to head straight there and contest it, so good initiative from Bayway Star. That's at least something they have going for them. This boss might take keep from OMG if they do it well. They have a couple of Siege Giants here as well. It's definitely taking the inner towers. There's no minions yet for Zul to convert into skeletons either, so this boss is going to put in some work. Vala's getting pretty aggressive there, and actually that's adaptation popped. Oh, that's a really bad adaptation. It's not going to get much value out of that. Oh dear. Pops his essence there to fully heal him, but that's all of Dahaka's self-healing now is used up. And that's the fort gone, or the keep gone even. Pretty good poison over, to be honest, coming out of the Zul, and Vala is going ham for that kill, maybe a little bit too ham. Looks like Rhaegar is there to keep her alive though. And looks like OMG have remembered how to play this game. I don't think they can core here, I think they're a little too weak. Maybe if they killed the keep with a little more health surviving, but they're all just barely half health and no mana, so they'll have to back out here. They have another tribute they can pick up anyway. Actually looks like, yeah, the global from Bayway Star proving value here. Dahaka just burrowing up and taking the tribute pretty easily. I mean, Bayway Star are only 1.5 levels down now, I suppose. That's something. They were 2 levels down. But they did lose the keep, so OMG are probably looking to try and soak as many lanes as possible after these camps and try and get a little bit of triple lane soak before the next tribute. Hopefully they can get 20. If they get 20 before the next tribute, that's basically checkmate. Unless Bayway Star pulls some miracle fight, which they did do last map. So they have it in them. Looks like another tribute's just spawning. Who is casting? Yep. So for those of you guys who are just joining, Zoia was casting at the start of today until he repeatedly blue screened over and over and over and is now reformatting his computer. And Gilly is on a plane. So I figured until you guys say no, I'll just keep casting on my own. So you guys get something to watch. That was a really nice drag to start the fight there, but Sylvanas just got blown up by that flank sunder. The sundering was amazing. And that's going to be level 20. Vala's arrow, her auto attack arrow followed him all the way back. Actually, it looks like the OMG are thinking they could have picked up the tribute by now and have gone for core, but they forgot how much global Bayway Star has, and they left Rhaegar to pick up the tribute, but Dahaka's like, nah, I'm going to take this tribute. They might still be able to end. Gus is still down for 20 seconds. Oh my god, this duel at top lane. Like, Rhaegar's just like, yeah, fine, you can have it, we're gonna win the game. I don't care. Oh my god. Well, OMG have definitely made it back to a 1-1. That was how the first game should have gone for OMG as well. It should have been... yeah. I feel like the first game was maybe Bayway Star. Not Bayway Star winning, but OMG losing. Yeah, that was some... I think they maybe went a bit too all-in on the global there, maybe, for Bayway Star. I mean, the Brightwing pickup was cool, But you still had Karazim open, Morales open, Tassadar Tyrande. Anyone that isn't Rhaegar or Uther was open for pick. And then opting for the cleanse, which sometimes you see those kind of cleanses, which are like, yeah, that was a good cleanse. Maybe I missed them, but I didn't see any in that game. What kind of portrait do you get for viewing this stream? I wish. You get nothing. You get Gilly Gold. But that's about it. Why do those Chinese casters always look either bored out of their minds or completely tilted? I'm not sure. They always look like they've just come out of a funeral whenever MVP Black win, so that's pretty funny. We'll get that next series, after MVP Black win in maybe 20 minutes total. Then they look like they just come out of a funeral. Yeah. Yesterday's series, if you want a hilarious series, MVP Black versus YL, it's on the highlights for this channel. But that series, I said in chat that like the casters looked like they wanted to deport YL for that game. It was pretty bad. I believe the portrait is for watching the official summer stream. And it's like some kind of red hexagon with a 2016 in it, and you get it after... I think one of them is after this weekend, and then the Red Diablo one is after the Worlds in Sweden in July. I think. There's a BattleNet news post with it on somewhere. Hopefully it's not like 20 minutes between drafts again. Zelda, that's just me being very sarcastic, but the games were highly questionable, shall I say. And also it was China losing to Korea, which has always historically made these Gold League casters look very sad. Every time it happens. Also whenever they lost to Cloud9 as well, but that wasn't quite as frequent. You can't listen to what they're talking, then anyone seems bored to you? Yeah, that's a good point. If you go listen to the Chinese streams, they're always very talkative, these three, so... I'm sure they actually have a lot to say, I'm just... can't speak Chinese. Have I thought of casting more? Here and there, maybe. I've done it a lot in the past for amateur StarCraft events. With Heroes, I find it a lot harder, because with StarCraft I knew a lot of what was going on. I could talk about a lot of the things. I was like a top 8 Masters player, casting a lot of Gold through Diamonds playing, so it was very easy for me to analyze the games. And I was somewhat reasonable at play-by-play as well, but it's a lot easier in StarCraft than Heroes. Something I do miss with the Gold League stream is at least some other streams have like a timer between maps. So you at least have some idea of how long the wait is. Yeah, she had a badge yesterday. I don't know where it went. Dude on the left had a badge as well. Did you guys just see that fly just fly past them all? Oh my god. It's a bug. Alright, third map. That's a rarity. It's been a huge amount of 2-0s today. Zoia said everything was going to be a 2-0 today, but didn't predict the OMG loss. The left guy is actually as energetic as Caldo when casting games. I can see that. Third map is going to be Tomb. Going to be wanting a lot of wave clear. There's a couple of good solo laners. Make sure your 4-man rotation's on point. Did see a Kerrigan pick on this map earlier today. Like, she's been on Infernal Shrines a lot, but maybe a couple of Chinese teams are trying her out on this map as well. Like, this has historically been one of her good maps, so for the record, I think Kerrigan got wrecked earlier today, so maybe not. It's like they just don't want to deal with Illidan at all. Was first banned last map as well. OMG might ban the Sonya here. Again, they banned her last map. Seems like they're banning her. Oh yeah, that's true. Ban the Zul for Tomb of the Spider Queen, because otherwise he'll get first picked. He's a very high contention pick on this map. Sylvana's going to be a first pick. She has really risen in popularity for China. She's got good wave clear. Really increases the value of all of the pushing map objectives, which have like a large monster that pushes the lanes. Like this map, Infernal Shrines, Battlefield of Eternity, that kind of thing. OMG going to pick up their healer and tank first, so they have a very reactive draft, OMG. They have, like, the front line is done, the healer is done. Their 3 remaining picks are highly flexible based on what they need. They are lacking a lot of wave clear, and they're lacking a solo laner, though, so they might be looking to pick one of those up after the second bans. Just kidding! Bayway Star picked up all the remaining solo laners. They really like these kind of cheesy comps, huh? What do you think about the fact that China and Korea have groups of 3 casters and NA and EU only ever have 2? I think it's like different casting styles. Like, they also have... I'm probably misinformed, but I think at least for Korean StarCraft, they have 3 different casting roles. And it's not just like 2 play-by-play, 1 analyst. There's 3 different casting roles, so they all know what to do regarding that. And I don't think that's what they've done for Heroes of the Dawn or for when they did Korean Worlds or whatever. Whenever there was a triple Heroes cast or a triple StarCraft English cast, they didn't do that. So maybe that's something for them to look into. Again, the Valor and the Li Ming that worked well for OMG last game. This is very nearly a complete mirrored draft for OMG for last game. There's the Karazim. Bayway Star realizing that Brightwing without a phase shield is pretty horrendous and picking up something that's going to do better than that. And Johanna for the wave clear. So they have a really nice rotation here. Probably leave Zagara on her own. And rotate as forward with the remaining heroes for Bayway Star. OMG are definitely lacking wave clear and definitely lacking in solo laners, but they are probably excelling over Bayway Star in like the ganking. They have Muradin Zeratul. The Li Ming looked like last game she was following the Muradin around as well, so that's an unconventional combo, but it's definitely a way to guarantee that your Arcane Orb hits. OMG are definitely going to need to be aggressive. Otherwise, I think Bayway Star might just overrun them with pushing the lanes down too much. That guy always looks like someone's dad. I don't know. Maybe he is. I know there's a couple of Chinese players who are pretty old, like 30s. We call them Muraming. It's got a bit of a ring to it, I suppose. Or Mooming. Maybe not that one. That's kind of a bit weird. Sometime this century, the third map will start. Oh my god, China. Jesus Christ, that sound. One day they'll learn how to fix audio. Today is not that day, nor any of the other days in the past, but one day in the future, they will learn. At least they remembered to start their in-game audio this time. Progress, right? Got Sora TNT on Zeratul. Wow, that disappeared so fast. And other 4 members of OMG are playing the other 4 heroes. Let's go with that. How do people do these intros so fast? BWS got such a long player panel. Did you see how long that was? Oh my goodness. I think like Beam BB really likes this Q build on Vala. He's been going at every single Vala game so far. This game we have the Power Hungry as opposed to the Astral Presence that we got last game. There's a lot more globes readily available on this map. And RIP Sylvanas and Thrall. I mean, I did say, and Karazim. Yeah, I did say OMG needed to be aggressive. Otherwise they're going to fall behind in the wave clear. And that was flawless execution there pretty much. Johanna had to hearth as well. In that situation it's also probably more advisable to hearth than tap because, I mean, having your presence out on the map there is arguably negligible. You already have most of your team dead, so I don't know. Better to hearth there, I would say. She also had like 1 or 2 health, or some, maybe 20%. It wasn't 1 or 2. Interestingly, they're not going to have a rotation of Bayway Star here. It's going to be a 1-1-3 setup. This lane is going to be very heavily pushed. This almost forces the Zeratul as well to stop roaming between the lanes and come down. Man, the ESL chat is bad. Yeah. That's why you watch most of the official streams without the chat open, sadly. Because it's pretty horrendous. I mean, I'm the only mod in this chat right now, and this chat's great, so... shout out to you guys. Seemed like another big fight from OMG that went like the first one. And then they'll probably have a pretty reasonable amount of control over this game. It's kind of interesting that we see the solo lane being top, though. Normally it's bottom, because it's much easier to spot people rotating to the bottom lane. There's only one entrance to the bottom lane, which is that middle area where the creep is. So normally you see bottom lane being the solo lane, but there's also the argument of pushing it out as a tri-lane to increase the value you get from the Siege Giants, which are in the bottom lane. Up to the level 4 talents now. Bayway Star's Karazim has picked up Foresight, which gives him a little bit of detection around where he Radiant dashes to. It's for revealing the Zeratul mostly. He gives that protective shield for that. I probably would have gone the protective shield for reasons like that. RIP her. But that's whatever. Again, the charge blast to Li Ming. It worked out for our last game, so I'm interested to see how it goes this game as well. Zeratul has opted for the Master Warp Blade as well, so the almost burst / sustain DPS part instead of the Vorpal Blade, which we normally see in America and Europe. We also see a lot of Rhaegars now. They're moving towards the trait talents. Feral Heart normally. Some of them like Wolf Run at 1. There might even be one at 7 that some get. Yeah, it's Blood and Thunder, isn't it? Some of them have been picking that up as well. Moving away from that healing totem. Especially on a map like this where you know your team are going to be moving a lot, you can't get much value off a healing totem. Like OMG are going to get the first turn in though, interestingly enough. All this aggression has been paying off for them, speaking of which. There is another kill! That's how OMG are going to win this game, is by getting these picks over and over, getting that advantage. So, they're playing to their game plan pretty well so far. Fairly standard talents at level 7. We got the cleanse, follow through on Zeratul. Muradin opting for the battle momentum instead of the piercing bolt, so he's recognised that there's not many targets he wants to stun. Probably getting more value off of more reverberations, which is going to reduce the Karazim's healing output. Reduce the Thrall's effectiveness as well, but they actually might even get this middle fort, which is amazing. Very close. Very close to getting that. They can maybe pick that up on another rotation. It's normally very rare that you pick up a fort with the first set of web weavers, but that would have almost just secured a very solid lead into level 10 for OMG. They're still looking pretty ahead, to be honest, though. They're lacking a bit in gems. They always have close to 70 gems now. So now OMG need to watch turn-ins for a little while. Hopefully they can delay it for them for maybe a level. And once they get OMG get level 10, it's just going to be a case of they can do what they like for a little while, because they have that solid 1.5 level lead. Looks like Johanna might actually get caught out here. Nah, she's going to get away. But Zagara instead did try to save her, so Zagara's going to fall. Li Ming is maybe going to get away. No, the Chain Lightning is going to get her as well. And Muradin is maybe going to get killed here too. No, he is going to get out. He has the tankiness and the escape tools. So a 1-for-1. The intended target was Johanna there, and it ended up with Li Ming and Zagara falling. That's a peculiar set of results, but either way, it does end up with the turn-in for Bayway Star during that. I believe Thrall had turned in during all of that. Definitely one of them had turned in during all of that. The level 7 talents from Bayway Star are looking relatively standard. We've got the movement speed on Condemn for Johanna, the Conviction ability, which is probably the most unusual talent, and even then that's pretty standard. And those web weavers get cleaned up disgustingly fast. I don't think they even got more than 2 towers. They got 1 tower mid. Maybe 1 top. Yeah, one mid and 1 top. So Bayway Star have to get that level 10 now. Like yesterday. At least Bayway Star did pick up their night camp. That's something they've got going for them. And they didn't get picked off before they got level 10 as well, so clawing their way back in. They got Blessed Shield, Sundering, Divine Palm, Wailing Arrow, and more. Standard heroics. Rodin is really looking for this flank on the Sylvanas, not going to get it. Smirrodin maybe gone too deep here. I think he can still get out, but he might have to use Avatar or something. Rhaegar got lost trying to save the Muradin as well. This is a very peculiar fight here. 3 people going down for OMG just for chasing a Sylvanas? Oh dear. Strafe getting condemned there as well. I'm not sure what Muradin's plan there was, apart from getting the Sylvanas, but I don't think it worked out too well for them. Was a 1 for 2 in favour of BWS Star there. But they have nearly lost all 3 forts now, so OMG still have a nice lead. Even with that highly confusing fight. And that's the last fort going over to OMG. OMG still have a really nice lead into this game. They are lacking the gems for another turn-in. They have 28 of the 60. BWS Star have more than enough. But OMG are going to get level 13 much faster, so that's going to delay this turn-in from BWS Star if they can't get it done within maybe the next 15 seconds or so. And Johanna's just having. She's just saying, nope, we're not going to get the turn-in. They've hit level 13. I'll get full mana instead. That's the most useful thing I can do right now. Again with the Giant Killer on the Vala. Must be this Vala's style of play. It's pretty interesting to see. There's a pretty heavy front line here for BWS Star though, so you can definitely argue for that. With the Illusionist, the Burning Rage on Muradin's pretty interesting. It's a response to the creep from Zagara. He's now able to just walk over creep tumors and reveal them. Clear them up without using any mana. And again, the Wormhole. And the Tidal Waves for Rhaegar. These Web Weavers for BWS Star are definitely going to earn themselves level 13 though. It's going to catch them up. But at the cost of their map objective not really achieving much. I mean, it might get them mid-tower, but BWS Star are still on the back foot. A couple of spell shields coming up for BWS Star respecting the Li Ming and the Zeratul. Again, the Windrunner for Sylvanas, the Mutalisk. Burning Rage for Johanna. Johanna could have chosen Spell Shield herself, but opted for the more aggressive talent. Looks like they still have the one Web Weaver that they can push in with. This might be a dead keep here. They have a Sylvanas finally pushing with a Web Weaver. I said dead keep, I meant dead fort. Massive flank now coming in from OMG. They're looking for that Zagara. They're really looking for that Zagara. Sundering is going to stop some of that chase. The VP stopped Zeratul from dying. I think they're going to be able to get the Zagara, but the Divine Palm is on point. However, everyone is now bunched up in the back from BWS Star, and that's going to put the teleport value through the roof. Oh my god, that is great. Wow. RIP. Well, OMG are going to get the basket level 16 and probably push and take the top keep. And turn in. I think they can do most of those things. Straight to the boss. No questions asked. Disintegrate will be up, Strafe will be up. Blessed Shield and Palm will probably be up as well, but I mean, BWS Star can't even contest this. This is just a free boss. Free boss, free turn in. Top keep should probably die unless BWS Star pull a miracle right now. BWS Star are just taking the Night Camp because it's something positive that they can do. It's going to mean at least that whenever OMG turn in, the Night Camp can somewhat deal with the middle Web Weaver. But, I mean, this is... I don't know if it's straight GG, but I'd be very surprised if the keep doesn't die right now. Never mind, it's probably GG. Okay. That Palm procs from just the leaning damage. That's not really a palm you want to have to use, to be quite honest. It's pretty unfortunate for the Kharazim. Johanna's getting trapped, blown up. Pretty decent Wailing Arrow is forcing a soft disengage from OMG, but, I mean, Muradin was still unsilenced. He's in there stunning everyone. That's 3 for nothing, 4 for nothing. Yep, the teleport there getting the kill. The boss did die, but the Web Weaver's still pushing. They have 17 seconds before a tank is up. They just need to spread. So Devouring Maw doesn't get, there we go, doesn't get more than one person, which is perfect. And that's going to be game. GG. That commentating. Yep. It's a me. It should be game. No? Doesn't want to be game? I mean, it doesn't have to be game if you guys don't want OMG. Entirely up to you guys. Alright. It's okay. You don't have to end. I'll keep casting. Fine. There we are going to clean up the bottom web weaver. Do we see MVP now? MVP is whenever this map is done. Should have just been done. TBH. Zoia is still... His computer is completely dead. Like, he was multiple blue screens when he was still here. Like, we had to remake the calls we were in like 3 or 4 times mid-cast because he kept blue screening, and now it's just repeatedly blue screening. So... He said if you guys want to cast, I can cast, and that's basically the only option right now that we have. So, it's that or nothing. So currently you get this. Well, OMG still have the absurd lead here, but they can still throw it away. Strafe getting some pretty nice value there off of the Vala. Avatar's going to be popped. The VP is going down. Can they get a kill now that people are in the VP? Karazim especially is in the VP. Never mind. Li Ming happened. Yeah, Li Ming happened. Yeah, Li Ming happened. Okay, this time, if it isn't game, I'm just going to go play League of Legends. Like, I have no idea. There's no way this isn't game. Surely. Zeratul, he knows what's up. He's there. Look at this. He's ready. He's BMing. No one can see it because he's still cloaked, and apparently that doesn't uncloak you, which is amazing. But he's there. Okay, right, here we go. This time, GG. Last time it was also still GG, for the record. But this time it's really GG. Okay, deafening incoming. I'm ready this time. Ha. Got you, bad Chinese audio mixing. So finally OMG pick up the win 2-1. That was supposed to be a fast 2-0, and it was definitely not. So next series is